cross-browser compatibility, debugging, and testing. In this video, we're going to learn about browser differences, operating system differences, using inspect on different browsers to debug, and how to properly do cross-browser testing. Browser differences. So here are the major browsers that are out there. These are the engines. You may or may not have heard these names. WebKit is especially well-known, Gecko. You have Google, which is running Blink, and the Blink engine runs Google Chrome and Chromium, and it also runs Opera and Vivaldi. You have Edge HTML, which is Microsoft's proprietary browser, which is Microsoft Edge. So you have Gecko, which runs Mozilla, which is Firefox, Thunderbird, and there's SeaMonkey and WaterFox. An engine is the software that takes the HTML and CSS and converts it to something visual. What we have here, this table, as we've seen, this table is HTML, so it's just a bunch of tags with content inside of it. And then you have some CSS properties that tell you where to display what and how. And even though the specification, the good thing is you have Google Chrome is a major browser, you have Microsoft Edge, you have Firefox, and you have the Safari web browser. So those are the big ones. And if you take a look, it's Apple, Mozilla, Microsoft, and Google who are running these. They have a lot of software developers, and on top of that, they have a lot of feedback. And additionally, you also have different browsers that are available in different operating systems. So if you're on Windows, you actually can run all of these. On Windows, you actually can get a version of Safari, but that version of Safari is actually different than the Mac version of Safari. Even if you're testing and you want to say, hey, does this work on Safari? But you're going to be a few versions behind the Safari for Mac. And on top of that, it may not always display the same way. And what's important to note when it comes to all of this is you want to think about who your target audience is and what browser they will be using and how frequently that browser will be used. So if you're a heavily scientific audience and everybody's running on Linux, then you want to make sure that you're supporting KHTML and Conqueror, even though it's discontinued, but that's what people are using. Chances are they're probably using Firefox on Linux or something like that, but knowing who your audience is and how old their computers are to also know what versions. Not everyone is running the most updated version. Some people are on work computers, and work computers, they don't have access to update. Even if they could and wanted to update, they couldn't actually update their browser, so they're using older versions. And you'd want to check and make sure that your software works and check that everything displays the way you want it to.